I broke the bro code when my friend wanted to cheat on his girlfriend. Will I ever be forgiven? I have known my friend Matt since we started college. We're in the same program and have been roommates since day one. Overall, I'd say Matt is a great guy, however, he has a terrible tendency to cheat. Throughout college, Matt had several different girlfriends, and each of those relationships ended because he would cheat. Back in January, he started dating his current girlfriend, Jen, and has been with her far longer than any of the previous relationships. From my interactions with Jen, I know she's a wonderful person. She's very polite, beautiful, and clearly devoted to Matt. For the past few weeks, Matt has also developed a close relationship with his anatomy lab partner Cindy. It's become pretty clear to me and my other housemates, Kyle, Robert and Omar, that there is some romantic relationship between them. We've even all met Cindy as she's been round our house a few times recently. Long story short, Matt has told me and the other guys that things between him and Cindy are moving fairly quickly and that Jen is completely in the dark about this. He told us that, for the foreseeable future, he'll be spending a few nights hanging out at Cindy's place. Here's the issue, Jen only lives a few minutes walk away, so there's a good chance she'll come by looking for him, according to Matt. Therefore, he wants us all to make excuses for his absences and potentially reassure Jen that he isn't up to anything bad. Kyle and Robert are fully on board with this, as they consider it the bro code. Omar is fully against this, and while he has not said he'd tell Jen, he has refused to lie for Matt and has been urging him to end things with Cindy. I would say I'm more neutral. I don't think what Matt's doing is appropriate, but I don't think it's my place to tell Matt how to manage his relationships. I told him that while I wouldn't seek Jen out and tell her what's going on, I wouldn't lie to her either about where he is and instead say I don't know. We all argued about this for a while, and the general gist of things is that Kyle, Robert, and Matt all think I'm being a bit of an ass for not being more cooperative. Aside from this, I don't think there is really much I can do. Moving flats would be both economically and logistically unfeasible, so I think trying to avoid stirring the pot is my best bet for now. What do you guys think? Update 1, Jen found out. Like Matt predicted, she came over to our house Tuesday evening. I saw her pretty quickly since I was also coming back from buying some food. She asked me if I knew where Matt was, and I said I didn't know. Funnily enough, I genuinely didn't know where he was at the time. She mentioned how he wasn't responding to her texts and that she was worried about him, and I felt pretty bad hearing that. Kyle approached us at this point and said that Matt was in his anatomy lab, then reassured her that he'd contact her once he was finished. She didn't seem entirely satisfied with that answer but thanked us anyway and left. Once she was gone, Kyle told me that Matt was actually on a date with Cindy. Since Matt sometimes brings Cindy over, he'll text the house group chat before they come over to ensure that Jen isn't around. He did this on Tuesday night, then Kyle alerted Matt that Jen had stopped by looking for him, so he stayed over with Cindy on Tuesday night. On Wednesday evening, only Omar and I were home. Kyle was with his own girlfriend, and Robert had an exam. At around 7 p.m., we got a text on the group chat from Matt saying he plans on bringing Cindy over that evening, and he asked if Jen had popped by. I told him that I hadn't seen her, and things went on as usual. Omar has actually refused to respond to these specific text messages from Matt, so there was an expectation on me to clarify if Jen was here or not. A little after 8 p.m., Jen comes by with her friend Carly. They asked us where Matt was since Jen hadn't been seeing him a lot lately. Before I could even say anything, Omar told them to come back after 8:30, and Matt should be home. After they left, I argued with Omar about his decision to tell them to come back, since it was inevitably going to cause drama, but he didn't care. I did text Matt and told him about Jen potentially returning, but since he was driving, he didn't read the message. At this stage, I gave up trying to contact Matt and went up to my room. A little after 8:30, Matt walked in with Cindy, and not that long afterward, Jen and Carly returned. Omar let them in. Long story short, there was a lot of Jen yelling and Matt lying and apologizing. I didn't bother coming down since I could hear it all from my room. After about 10 minutes of this, Jen and Carly left. Matt sent Cindy home after this and was pretty pissed at what happened. I reminded him that I sent text messages that he didn't read, and Omar played dumb, acting like he didn't see Matt's message about him asking if Jen was home. Omar admitted to Matt that he told Jen to come back after the first time she came, because he didn't think Matt was dumb enough to go out with Cindy 2 nights back to back. Robert and Kyle came home after this point and I filled them in with what happened. There was definitely some tension in the house this morning, as Matt thinks this all could have been avoided had Omar been more helpful. He also partially blames Cindy for wanting to come over so often. Overall, Matt doesn't really seem to care that Jen found out and broke things off with him. He said that he'll try apologizing one more time, as he does prefer Jen to Cindy, and if she doesn't accept, he'll leave things as they are. As for Cindy, Matt has already told Kyle, Robert, and me this morning that he plans on ending things with her after the December exam season. He says that he wants to be single again by New Year's so he can have a fresh start. Kyle and Robert think this is pretty hilarious considering how much trouble he got into to be with her. Things have ended more smoothly than I thought and I have made it abundantly clear to Matt to keep me out of his relationship woes. I have also asked Carly how Jen was holding up this morning as we share a class together. As expected, Jen was very upset about the entire ordeal, and she and her friends consider everyone at our house aside from Omar to be complicit and awful. Kyle also texted the group chat saying that his girlfriend found out what happened and is furious with him. Update 2, for people wondering what happened next, here's what went down. Jen did not accept Matt's apology in the end. She had indicated that she, in fact, never wants to see him again. And I totally agree with her decision. Matt on the other hand is still with Cindy, and he still plans on breaking up with her after exam season. According to him, Cindy is starting to feel pretty secure now that Matt is no longer with Jen and has expressed her desire to form a serious relationship with him. While he does feel a bit guilty, he thinks it's best for both of them that he ends things with her before New Year's. Despite his guilt, Matt has attempted to reactivate his Tinder account. Kyle then made him take it down because he thinks it's too soon for Matt to do this as someone we know is bound to see him there, and according to Kyle, Matt needs to play up the angle that he's heartbroken about falling out with Jen. Thankfully for Kyle, he managed to smooth things over with his girlfriend by claiming he had no idea Matt was cheating. Robert backed him up on this and expressed that nobody aside from Matt knew. While I did plan on telling Carly the truth, I ended up telling her I did not know about Matt's cheating. I know it's a lie, but since I was against Matt cheating, I don't think it's fair for me to go down with a ship, considering that both Kyle and Robert are getting off relatively easy. Apparently, I was convincing enough as Carly told me that while she herself doesn't think I'm so bad, Jen will need time to process what went down, so it's best to give her space. Again, I get it isn't the most appropriate measure, but I really don't think I deserve to be in the splash zone. Omar has expressed his strong disappointment in all of us, but at this stage his voice has become ambient noise according to Kyle. We'll have to wait and see if anything else happens, but I'm hoping and praying that the worst is over.